Good morning, besties. I thought it would be so fun to do another get ready with me, but this time we're gonna treat it like we're on Facetime. First things first, I do need to hop in the shower, so I'm gonna do that real quick and then we'll come back and get ready together. Alright, this sucks. I'm beginning to start editing and I realized that the first part, I just hit the mic. I'm so sorry. Alright, I just sat down to start editing and exporting this video and I realized that the whole first section of me using my Dyson Airwrap got deleted somehow. It just says the video is 0.0 seconds long. Hopefully I find out what happened to that, but in the worst case you will be watching this instead of that section and then we will get right into the full rest of the Get Ready With Me. I apologize if you are having to watch this version of myself. Alright, another section done, so we're going to do another round of hairspray. And again, don't be afraid to be heavy-handed. We want it to smell like a pageant in here. Alright, and now for the last section, once I take this down, I like to start in the back and curl away from my face. Honestly, it always looks so funny doing this. And then just curl it away. Or on the top of my head like that. And then I'm just going to softly move these two back pieces to where I want them, trying really carefully not to brush out the curl, but just place them. And then we're going to do one last round of hairspray. And then we're going to let it sit while we do our skincare and our makeup. Do not brush it out yet. You need time to let your curls completely cool and soak in all that hairspray to hold it. A lot of times I won't even brush my curls out at all. I'll just let them fall as they are and just go with it. You do have to embrace the George Washington look, at least for the next 30-40 minutes. But now it is time for skincare, so I'm going to try to twist my hair to pin it back, keeping it in the same direction as the curl. Kind of like this. I know I look crazy and you will look crazy if you do this, but it's what it is. I'm actually even going to take my rings off for this because I hate getting skincare like in them and just getting it clogged in my fingers. So we're just going to set that to the side. First things first, I'm going to start with my MCO Beauty lip treatment just because my lips are feeling a little chapped this morning and I just want that to be able to sit while we do everything else. So then by the time I do my lips, they're soft, they're plump, they're perfect. First step, skincare wise though, we're going to start with the MCO Beauty Pore Reducing Serum. I got this in a mini set for Christmas from, I think my mom said it was Kroger, and it is the Glow Recipe dupe. It smells like watermelon, all the things, and honestly just feels so great on the skin. Next I'm going to go with my Thayer's Hydrating Milky Toner. This is, I think, like my ride or die toner at the moment. I can't even begin to tell you how hydrated my skin feels after, and it's just the perfect consistency for skin prep to do before your makeup. It just hydrates, sinks in, it's not too thick, it's not too runny. What I truly need Thayer's is I need the new Hydrating Milky Moisturizer. I have the cleanser, I have the toner. I need to complete my set. So if you're listening and feeling generous, let me know. Next I'm going to go in with my VT Cosmetics PDRN serum. I like to do this right after my toners just because it's an essence and I want it to be able to soak into my skin. You want to do your order of skincare from toner to essence to serums to moisturizer, and then sunscreen. Obviously, please be using your sunscreen. That order is just so everything is able to penetrate into the skin. You want to go from the lightest to the thickest. That way, you are able to use all of the benefiting factors. Next, I'm going to use my Good Molecules Hyaluronic Acid. This is my favorite Good Molecules product. I can 100% say that with a fact. I have bought this 3 or 4 times. I barely have any left in this bottle, but that's just because I use it genuinely every single day, day and night. I'm just so impressed with how much it hydrates my skin and how plump it looks. Next, it's time for my Ira Hyper C Serum. Again, I cannot tell you how much I love this. It brightens like no other serum I've used before. I know that they're a newer, smaller company, but I can't even say enough good things about them. The products, the customer service, how friendly they are. I've been using this serum every single day since I received it in November. They were kind enough to send me a sample of that. And I'm almost out, and it makes me so upset. I hate running out of products. But again, like, I just love the way my skin looks after. Just look how glowy my skin looks right now, y'all. I can't even. We're barely getting started. Next, I like to do an eye cream. This is the Belief Aqua Bomb Eye Gel. My favorite part, I mentioned this in my nighttime skincare with the retinol version, but the cooling tip feels so great, especially in the mornings when you're really struggling to wake up. I like to do about a pump on under each eye and just slowly start working it in. I go underneath the eye, I go a little bit on the outer corner and a little bit above to the brow bone just to make sure I'm getting it absolutely everywhere. And then I'll even take my fingers and softly start massaging it in even deeper. Make sure we're getting all of the benefit out of this. Alright, now it is time for moisturizer. I always start with the Bubble Slam Dunk. This is one of my favorite moisturizers of all time. And part of it is just because when you dispense it, it comes out looking like a little flower. I can't get over that. And it honestly, not even just that, it feels so nice. And I've noticed such a big difference in the hydration of my skin and how smooth it feels, especially when I use it at night and I wake up in the morning. It has been so freezing cold here the past couple days. It's even supposed to like sleet and freezing rain, snow a little bit this weekend. And my skin has not been cracked or dry at all. Then I do like to double up with my moisturizer, but that is only because this one has SPF in it. This is the CeraVe Ultra Light Moisturizing Lotion with SPF 30. It is my favorite one to use to double up with during the day just because, again, like the SPF, and it feels so light on the skin. It doesn't even feel like I'm doing a second layer of moisturizer. It just feels like I'm putting on face sunscreen, but it has that added hydration effect. It just makes my skin so smooth and plump, and then giving us that extra protection from the sun. Alright, that is it for skincare. Now we're going to move on to doing our makeup. Actually, I think I'm going to let my skincare sit for a second. Just to really get a little tacky and all the things before we start doing our makeup. Speaking of makeup, did anyone else not get Ulta Beauty World tickets this morning? I'm still bitter. I knew, like, realistically I probably wasn't gonna get a ticket, but I just wanted to go so stinking bad. Like, it's fine. This coffee today is so good. I changed up what I normally do and I added a little bit of cinnamon into my espresso and then put vanilla syrup in it. Next time, I think I'm going to do slightly less cinnamon and I'm going to add brown sugar and make like a brown sugar espresso but with vanilla syrup in it. Like, it's going to taste so good. I'm so excited for tomorrow just so I can do that. I think today we're going to do a little bit more of like a full glam look, especially more in like the eyes. Just because I'm going to be filming a lot of TikTok content today. And I think it would be fun to do like crazy like smoky eye makeup. I don't know if I want to go that far, but at least like add eyeliner, tight line, like a little higher step than what I normally do. One of the videos we're going to be filming today is an update on my brand wall. One of the boxes I received yesterday and then the other is arriving today, so we will be filming that update today. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm so excited to share who the brand is. If you follow me on TikTok, I did give a little hint in my car get ready with me from yesterday, so if you're wanting to take a guess about who it is, you better hurry up because I will be posting that video today. The best content creation hack I ever found out, this has changed my life and I only found this out like yesterday. You can mirror your phone camera to your MacBook and watch it and then record on your MacBook. Like, I'm using Photo Booth right now. So I'm recording for YouTube. But the reason I'm so far back and like hanging out in the center of my frame is because I also found out is I can crop it differently, and I'm going to use this video and just edit it slightly differently. I'm going to be using it for TikTok. I am going to be like cross-posting, double posting, and it's perfect because I can see over here, like this is where my MacBook is. I can see where I am in the frame, I can see what I'm doing, and it, game changer. And I'm just filming on the back camera with cinematic on, so like that's why I have a little bit of blur in the background. Ugh, the best decision ever. I don't even remember where I found out that I can do this, but it is the best hack I've ever found. So the full long video will be up on YouTube, and then I will cut down a bunch of excess, a bunch of like random chit chat, yapping, and then split the video into like a skincare get ready with me and then a makeup get ready with me for TikTok. And that way I don't have to stress about figuring out what to film, what to post for each platform. I'm just gonna use my content and just do slightly different versions. At least that's my plan for the time being. And then I think today for blush, I'm gonna double up my Rare Beauty minis. One is Happy and one is Hope. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do Hope. This is Hope, right? Yeah, I'm gonna do Hope more in the center of my face. I'm just gonna look over here. Like again, I'm looking at my MacBook to do this. This is crazy. I'm just gonna put Hope like in the middle. And then I'm gonna take Happy and do just the tiniest bit like right above that, like right here. And then I'm gonna blend that together to create like an ombre effect across my cheek. And I'm just gonna tap that in. Yeah, like that is so pretty. This is one of my favorite blush combos. That's like such a weird thing to say, a blush combo, but definitely like putting those two cream blushes together always eats. Like, it always eats. Look at this. Look at this. I'm gonna put a little bit on my chin today and then a little bit on the outer perimeter of my face. Now it is time for concealer. This is my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in shade 12N or Fair Neutral. I just love how creamy this is. It's full coverage, blends out, I'm not even kidding, like a dream, and just brightens everywhere that I need it to. I'm gonna go like a little underneath my cheek and do like a little reverse contour, and I'm gonna do the tiniest bit on my nose. And then I'm gonna let it sit for a quick second. So then while we wait, I'm gonna do my eyebrows super quickly and just go like this. Brush them out super quickly. I don't think I'm gonna fill them in today. And I'm just gonna use this brow gel. This is the one from Anastasia Beverly Hills, their clear brow gel. And then now that we let that sit for a second, I'm gonna take this Morphe brush. This is the M132 concealer brush and start tapping in my concealer, trying to keep it very close to where I placed it. And then I'm actually gonna do my under eyes last to give them the most amount of time to really sit. Just look how sharp that is. Love. And I'm just gonna do this side super quickly as well. Yeah. How could you not love this concealer? I have a little piece of hair trying to come forward there. Do my nose super quickly, just tapping that in. Kind of again like a reverse contour. And then I'll fix it with bronzer in a second. And then we're gonna do my under eyes. Tapping that in, bringing it a little bit to the bridge of my nose, and then in the outer corner. Again, trying to keep it really close to where I originally placed it. And I'll even take concealer up to the top of my lid just to get any color correction and even out my skin tone up there. Bring it out tiniest bit in here to blend it out. And then we're gonna do the same on the other side. Alright, now that that has started to blend out, it's time to do some loose powder. This is the L'Oreal Infallible in shade light pink. It is my favorite loose powder. Drugstore, high-end, I don't care. L'Oreal will always win with this one. So I'm just going to take some on my powder puff and tap it into the palm of my hand just to get any excess off. And then we're just going to tap it into the under eye area and anywhere where we put concealer. Yeah, like look at the difference between these two sides. Blurfection is that girl. Put a little bit on my chin. And then a little bit in the center of my forehead as well, just because I get really shiny right there. Yeah, like how could you not love the way that looks? Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do my first round of setting spray. This is the Airbrush Finish from Charlotte Tilbury. And then while that's sitting, we're gonna start with our eye makeup. And then what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna take a fluffy brush and my powder bronzer. This is from Charlotte Tilbury. And I'm going to start putting that in the crease of my eyelid. We're gonna keep it a little simple with like eyeshadow today. I'm just gonna use this powder bronzer just to really tie in the look. Just be really light-handed, holding the end of the brush and slowly working this in. I'm gonna get a little bit more and keep it literally concentrated right in the outer corner, just tapping softly. Perfect. Yeah, that looks perfect. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tightline my waterline. All right, now that I finished doing that, I'm gonna take, this is my Morphe Outer Spice palette, and I'm gonna take this dark brown color with a tiny, tiny little smudge brush, and I'm gonna smudge it right along my lash line, almost stamping it and smudging out with the eyeliner and giving myself almost like a tiny, tiny, tiny wing. And just do the same on the other side, stamping it along the lash line and giving a little flick on the end. Just like that. And then we're gonna curl our lashes super quickly. And then we're gonna double up with mascara. We're gonna start with the Maybelline Colossal Bubble and start working that in to the lashes, and do the outer corner of the bottom lash line. Perfect. Now that we're done with this one, and we're gonna top it with the Benefit Bad Gal Bang, and just again wiggle that into the lashes, trying to separate them and give as much volume as possible. All right, and now we're gonna move on to our powder product. And I'm going to start with the Painted Blush Duo, but I'm just going to use the powder. This is in shade Peach Beach. And I'm just going to tap right where we put the cream blush earlier. And bring it a little bit into the under eye as well. And then on my tip of my nose. Perfect. And then I'm going to bring the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer back out with a big, giant, fluffy brush. And just tap that again where we put the cream bronzer earlier, just on the outer perimeter of the face, just to help warm everything up. And I'll even put a little bit on my nose as well. Now that we have all that done, it's time for lip. We're gonna keep it super simple today. This is the Tarte Maracuja Lip Plump. This is the candy cane version with the candy cane bedazzled top from the holidays. I think it's just truly the perfect neutral lip, and then it plumps and it just feels nice and it smells like peppermint. Can't get over that. And then now it is time for our second round of setting spray, again using the Charlotte Tilbury. And we'll top that off with the L'Oreal 3-Second Setting Mist. You cannot talk me out of ever using this ever again. It locks your makeup in. I can't even begin to tell you. So basically what I do is I use this to like melt the products together and this to secure it and lock it down tight. And there we go. This is the final makeup look for today. I'm so excited to start filming all this content for y'all today. You guys are in for the biggest treat ever. We're gonna take my clips out as well and slowly start bringing out the curls that we let sit. They've been sitting for about like 40 minutes at this point. I'm just gonna slowly try to comb them out and make them happy. Again, I don't normally do too much combing just because I like to let them fall throughout the day, but I will turn my head over and shake out one time too. And there we go. This is the final look for the day. I hope you had so much fun getting ready with me this morning, and I hope you have the best day ever, besties.